All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. For He is our Father, our Abba Yah, our Ancient of Days, the Sovereign One, the Almighty One, having all power and wisdom and knowledge within His very existence. And so we who honor and love and revere Him are prosperous, happy, enviable, a wonder to many. Because He illuminates Himself on us, He shines His face on us. Because we honor Him. We adore Him. We adore Him. So prosperous are those who revere Yahuwah and those who walk in His ways. Today, I don't plan to be before you long. That's what they used to say in church. I'm not going to be before you long. But anyways, I just wanted to share this real quickly with you. I was listening to some things, at the end of the day today regarding what's going on, and it came to my heart that what we need to do, we have a plan. Yah has given us a plan, and that plan is that when we hear something, we don't fret, because we are so comfortable in the shelter of the Most High, the Almighty, dwelling in that secret place under the shadow of His wings, that it's like being in covering, a warm, secure home when it's thundering and lightning outside. And that's how we are in Him. We are sheltered under His wings. We're under the shadow of the Almighty, which means He's hovering over us, right? In order for there to be a shadow. So anyway, as I was listening to a video, watching a video, and like I said, he was going over some things that are happening, and how certain decisions of some people have affected the entire country, the entire world. And so now they're realizing that they may not have done the right thing. But, we know things are already written and things are going to happen to bring about our eternal habitation with the Most High. Things have got to happen. And corruption and destruction has got to come to evildoers. And so these things have got to happen. So anyway, what came to me was that what we do is when we hear things going on, because I'm going to admit, in the beginning, I was going through so many different changes. I was like, are you kidding me? Really? Look at how people are going to be affected. Look at the domino effect it's going to be on all of us. Da 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 da. Everything. And one morning, I woke up as though I had a visitation in the night, and I was strengthened, and I began seeing things. Such as, we knew this time was coming. Now we have to focus on what we need to do to stand. And so today, this evening, another thought came to me, and that is that when we hear of a new change, when we hear of something that has happened that's affecting the way things used to be, we first of all need to remember that in Yohanan 17, Yahushua said he was talking to the Father about protecting us and keeping us, that we're in the world, but we're not of the world. And in the last verse or two in Yohanan 16, he says that he was encouraging the Tahallym, and he was saying, I have overcome the world. I have deprived it from being able to bring harm to you. So once we realize who we are and where we are, then we can stand a little bit more sure, because He gave a parable of the man who builds his house on the rock. I think that's in Matthew 7. The man who builds his house on the rock is not the same, will not have the same outcome as the man who builds his house on the sand. And during this time, we're going to see those whose house is built on the rock, that solid rock, that rock of ages, that spiritual rock that the children of Yahshara'al drank from. We're going to see who are those and who are those whose house was built on the sand. So, I am here tonight to tell you that there's a plan. Now, I've started 3 times and I haven't followed through with it, so I'm going to tell you now. The plan is when we hear of things happening and others are running around and they're complaining and they're sharing their fears, we can stand firm and calm, and we can be saying in our heart, when we're in the midst of other people, we can say in our heart, okay, Father, so what do you want us to do with this? You're moving in the midst of this because you always work for your people. And that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to ask for an ear to hear and a mind to do his will and to trust in him and know that he calms seas, that even the storm, they said, what manner of man is this that even the storm and the waves obey him? At his voice, things obey. There's a Tahallym that talks about how the cedars are broke and just all these different things. It's in one of Tahallym 40 something, but anyways, I'm not for sure which one it is, but it's in the 40s, and it talks about the voice of Yahuwah. So when he speaks, storms will obey. And when he speaks in our life against anything coming against us, it will back up and it will get right. So I just want to share a few verses with you just to back up what I'm saying. But we have victory. You know we win in Yah, right? You know that. If you don't, start telling yourself that every day until you know it. Until you know it. Because we don't fret because of evildoers or things that are collapsing all around us. Because we're going to continue to hear of the mayhem, and we're going to see the demise of the workings of this world system because it's crumbling. But we know that we can turn to Abba Yah and thank him for turning it around for us. His own 12 verse 13, and the dragon saw that he was thrown down to the earth, and he went in pursuit of the woman who had given birth to the male child. This is the part that applies to us. But the woman was supplied with 2 wings of a giant eagle. Who supplied her with the wings? So that she might fly from the presence of the serpent into the desert, the wilderness, to the retreat, to that place that Yah has already set up for her, where she is to be kept safe and fed for a time and times and half a times. That's the entire tribulation. 3.5 years or 1260 days, however you want to say it. Then out of his mouth the serpent spouted forth water like a flood after the woman, that she might be carried off with the torrent. But the earth, Yahuwah caused the earth to come to rescue the woman, and the ground opened its mouth and swallowed up the stream of water that the dragon had spouted from his mouth. Now I hear a lot of interpretations of what this means. For me, to be able to survive and endure to the end, I take this as meaning that we are kept by him. That whatever comes our way, he's always got a way up to swoop us up and get us out of it. All the time. He has a place prepared for us. There's a message on the We Win, one of the audios that says he always has a plan to deliver. Shemot 9, verse 6. Wherefore say to the children of Yahshara'al, I am Yahuwah, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Mizrites, and I will rid you out of their bondage, and I will redeem you with a stretched out arm and with great judgments, and I will take you to me for a people, and I will be to you a Aluah, and you shall know that I am Yahuwah, your Aluah, who brought you out from among the burdens of the Mizrites. Oh, right there, that last part, I just felt like in the natural be a man telling a woman, I take you for mine. I'll protect you, I'll provide for you. Now, during that time before the children of Yahshara'al were able to leave Mizraim, a lot of things were happening, and it was happening to those who were Mizrites. Their leader had them in bondage, and he didn't want to let them go. And he was hardened, but Yahuwah had said in the beginning that he was going to harden his heart. And he did. So when the different signs took place, the blood, the water was turned to blood, the frogs, the lice, the flies, the cattle, the boils, the pestilence, the days of darkness, the hail and fire, and the locusts, and then the last one, that firstborn of every livestock and every person, they were slain. But none of these things took place in the land of Goshen, where the children of Yahshara'al were. They didn't experience these things. They were kept. Can he not do it for us now? He's looking for a people who are looking for him to do that. One Tahallym says, as we hope in him, we will receive. And I'm paraphrasing it, so hopefully I can find it and put it in the description. But as we hope in him. And doesn't that make sense? If that's what we're expecting, then that's what we'll get, because that's our emunah in him, and he's going to fulfill that. If we expect little, we'll get little. It's not that he's not able to do more. He is able to do more. But if that's all we're expecting, it's like if you're at a vending machine and it says you can get this much for $1, and you put $1 in and you choose, and then you expect to get that one that costs $2, it's not going to work, right? Yeshayahu 59. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, so he's going to come in like a flood, the Ruach of Yahuwah will lift up a standard against him. He'll put up a rule. He'll command it. Don't you dare come any further. He might not even have to speak. He might just stand there and look at him. And the enemy already knows who is the Almighty. So in his own, it said that the dragon was going to come in like a flood. Verse 15, then out of his mouth the serpent spouted forth water like a flood after the woman, that she might be carried off with the torrent. And then Yeshayahu 59 says, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahuwah shall lift up a standard against him. I heard one preacher said, he read it this way, when the enemy shall come in, comma, like a flood, the spirit of Yahuwah will lift up a standard against him. So the Ruach will stand up against him. He will be like a flood. All praises be to the Most High. Romans 8, verse 28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love Yahuwah, Aluah, to them who are the called according to his purpose. What shall we then say to these things? If Yah be for us, who can be against us? So when we hear things are going on and happening, and it seems like it's getting close to our door, remember Tahallym 91 says, and none of these plagues shall come near where we live. Nothing that's evil is going on out there, and all that's happening is going to come near us. So when it looks like it's coming near us, sounds like they got our address, right? Then we say, Father, we know that all things work together for us because we love you, and we are the called according to your purpose. And if you be for us, who can be against us? We thank him for turning everything around for our good. Not to fret that these things are coming to us, because then we're going to become victims. We'd be like, no. You know, some people in the world today, they feel so entitled that things got to be their way, and for whatever reason. Well, we have every reason to be entitled, because it's the inheritance that we have through him. And not in a haughty way, but I'm just saying, when the enemy comes in, we got to know who we are, and we stand and say, no. It's like when they say that Paul was beaten, and he came back and said, is it right for you to beat a Roman? Because he had a Roman citizenship too, right? And then they got scared because they didn't realize that he was a Roman also. So does the enemy have a right? So we don't want him. We don't want to be in a place where he has the right to come after us. We want to be law keepers. We want to love Yahuwah. We want to, because he says if we love him, we'll keep his commandments. So we want to be in right standing with him, so the enemy finds nothing in us. Like Yahushua said, the enemy comes, but there's nothing in me that belongs to him. He has no claim on me. I don't owe him anything. And Yahushua told us of a parable. He told us, he said that when we do something, then we need to pay right then, so that he can't come back. And we be made to pay till it's all paid up. So we got to stay right. We got to stay in right standing with Father, so the enemy doesn't feel that he has a reason to come and knock on our door and proclaim evil to us. So when we hear things, and no matter how scary it sounds, because it's going to sound scary, because it's the spirit. It's an evil spirit bringing forth a message, hoping that we'll receive it. Remember when the 12 spies came back, and 10 of them gave an evil report, and the people believed them because they were leaders, and said, oh, the Anakims are so big, we were even in our own eyes like grasshoppers. And the people believed them. They brought an evil report. When people are bringing us evil reports, we go to Father. Father, strengthen me. I know that you are my strength. And what time, Tahallym 56 says, what time I am afraid, I will trust in you. Tahallym 27 says that you are my light and my salvation. Of whom shall I fear? You are the strength of my life. Of whom shall I fear? We have to say we have to know that word to be able to say those kind of things. Because when the evil reports come, because they will, we don't take no thought to repeat them and believe those reports. That entire congregation believed the 10 evil reports, and they would not hear what Joshua and Caleb had to say. And they brought a good report. They stood on what Yahuwah had said, that you will possess the land. So when things come, we look to him, we rejoice, we say, thank you, Father, for your way of escape that you have made for us. Tahallym 124 says, if it had not been for you who was on my side, when the enemy came to do whatever he was going to do, but it was Yahuwah who delivered us. And he still delivers. The last verse, and then I'll be closing. Yahshara'al 54, verse 14 through 17. Very familiar. I'm reading from out of the Amplified Classic, because they really amplified this verse. You shall establish yourself in righteousness. And in parentheses, they say that righteousness is in conformity with Yahuwah's will and order. Let's conform to his will and his order. And you shall be far from even the thought of oppression or destruction. For you shall not fear, and from terror, for it shall not come near you. Behold, they may gather together and stir up strife, but it is not from me. So whatever's going, don't think it's from Yahuwah. It's not from him. Whoever stirs up strife against you shall fall and surrender to you. Behold, I have created the smith who blows on the fire of coals and produces a weapon for his purpose. And I have created the devastator to destroy. So see, he's created the smith who's going to blow out the fire of coals. And he has created the one who produces a weapon for its purpose. And he has created the devastator to destroy. So he's got messengers who will be fighting for us. Verse 17. But no weapon and no one who produces a weapon for its purpose, and no weapon that is formed against you shall prosper. And every tongue that shall rise against you in judgment, you shall show to be in the wrong. This peace, this show of righteousness, this demonstration of security, this triumph over opposition is the heritage of the servants of Yahuwah, the Almighty Most High One. This is the righteousness, or we can say the vindication that they obtained from me. This is what I impart to them as their justification, says Yahuwah. So no weapon that is formed against us shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against us in judgment shall be shown to be wrong. They're lying. They've got no strength in what they're saying. And so we show peace. We have a show of righteousness, demonstration of security, and triumph over opposition, because that's our heritage. So that's what our heritage is, because we're servants of Yahuwah, and he vindicates us. He imparts this to us as our justification. So brothers and sisters, when things happen, this is going to be strengthening us right now as the fire is being heated up 7 times. Every time something happens and we turn to Yahweh for answers and solutions and guidance, we're strengthened. And every time he works out any little thing that may not have anything to do with that, just everyday things, and you're like, wow, Father, thank you. Thank you. You're so, tell him, honor him, esteem him, praise him, recognize who it is who has worked things out. Because then it gets us in the habit, it gets accustomed to doing that. Because we're going to need him. We need him now. We need him every day. There's no way we can live any day without him. And we're going to see it more and more. So be encouraged, brothers and sisters, and just take it to him and see these things as we see them laying out. We see them as, okay, Father, there's something here. Show me what's behind this so I know what to do, where I need to be, what I need to say, what I don't need to be saying. How do I prepare? Do I stand still? Do I move? And like I said, do I say something or don't I say something? This is very critical times. We're not going to be talking to everybody and anybody and giving our opinions about everything. I'm telling you, in the beginning, a week or so ago, oh my goodness, I was talking to a few people who I know think like me, as far as politically think like me, but they don't think like me in the ruah, in the spirit, the things that count, the eternal things. And so I had to know that, okay, let me just pull back. Even though they think like I do in the politics, they're of this world. So not everything needs to be told. Our main conversation needs to be between us and Yahuwah. He'll let us know who to talk to. This is the time for sure that we will know who are his sheep. He said, I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Mizrites, and I will rid you out of their bondage, And I will redeem you with a stretched out arm and with great judgments. And I will take you to me for a people, and I will be to you an Aluah. And you shall know that I am Yahuwah, your Aluah, who brought you out from under the burdens of the Mizrahites. Stay encouraged, brothers and sisters, and stay in the state of courage. And feel the excitement of being able to see the very hand of Yahuwah moving and working for us like he did in the days of Musa, as he was preparing the children of Yahshara'al to come out from under the bondage of the evil Pharaoh. And even as they were in the wilderness, time and time again, he showed himself strong. We're getting ready to see the same type of thing. So be excited about it and know whose side we're on, and that is the winning side. Doesn't mean we're not going to have calamities, because straight is the way that leads to eternal life. And that straight is S-T-R-A-I-T, meaning that there's going to be hard times. It's also S-T-R-A-I-G-H-T, I believe is the straight as far as a direction, but it's written in the scriptures as straight, telling us that there's going to be some hard times. But with it, we're not alone. He's with us. He goes before us. He walks with us. And he knows every step of the way. He knows everything that's going around us. Can he not do for us that he did for the children of Yahshara'al? The serpents didn't come out and start biting them until they were complaining. Other than that, those serpents knew to stay back and not to harm them. Are there not serpents all around us? And can we not be protected also as we're keeping our mind stayed on him and trusting in him? You know, I don't know about you, but I play these messages back a lot. And these last ones, I'm playing them as I'm sleeping. I'm playing them in my kitchen. I play them because I need to keep hearing this. I need to be hearing this more than I need to hear what's going on in the news or watching movies. I need to be hearing this, getting it in me, getting it in me, getting it in me. He turns everything around for our good if we love him and if we are the called according to his purpose. His elect. Because if it was possible, the very elect would be deceived in the last day, but it's not. And because of the elect, he's going to shorten those days. So let's work with him. Let's be a part of the team. Let's be a part of that army, that Joel army. You ever read that in Joel? Fierce group of people. All right, stay encouraged and stay in the state of courage. But truly, it's going to take courage to make it through this, to endure to the end. And may we all endure to the end. And I'm not sure what that verse means in Lucas 21, but he says to ask that we be counted worthy to escape the things that's come upon the face of the earth. And I'm thinking he means the wrath of Yah, not the tribulation, because there's two things going to be happening. The wrath of Yahuwah is coming after all evildoers, and the tribulation is trying everybody. So stand strong, endure to the end. Look to him and know who our Redeemer is. Know who the Great One is. Know who the Almighty is. The one who is invincible, all-knowing. So he is omniscient. He's omnipresent and omnipotent. And that's who we serve. I'll talk to you next time, brothers and sisters. You know, I love you in Yah, and I'm excited to be in the family, and I really hope we all make it. Even though we don't know each other face to face and name by name, it's just good to know that there's some other ones out there. It's like Nehemiah, oh my goodness, when they were building that wall. They were all across that wall, and he said, when you hear the trumpet sound, you come over here. Listen, there's a trumpet being sounded, and let's give ear to it. For the people who hear the trumpet sound in Tahallym says that they will be saved. They will make it. Salama, saloon. Until next time, Yah's peace be with you. We win in Yah.